Hey, hi all, welcome to the channel. Hope all is well and fantastic at your end. Okay, so in last video we have discussed how to create database table and how to modify table structure. In today's session we are going to cover different sort of DML statement, basically insert, update, delete and select statement. Okay, so it's going to be very interesting and fun. Okay, so let's start the session. But before that, if you are new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe it. Let's see how we can insert record within a table. Okay, for that one we do have insert statement in place. Okay, so basically the syntax of insert statement is insert into, then we'll have to specify table name, then values. Okay, and we'll have to provide column values over here. Okay, so let's look at the example. Okay, so in this example we are basically inserting records in a table student. Okay, and values we have mentioned like Priyank 20 Gwalior. Okay, so whatever is the first defined column, this value Priyank will go to that particular column. Okay, similarly next column will have value 20 and the last column will have value Gwalior. Okay, so when you are not specifying column name in your table, then you will have to make sure that whatever value you are inserting, it's basically following or it's aligned to your table columns. Okay, now let's understand use of ampersand in Oracle. Okay, so this symbol is basically used to input values through keyboard. Okay, now let's look at this example. Okay, so in this particular example, rather than supplying values, we are basically putting ampersand. Okay, it's expecting input from the user. Okay, once you execute this particular statement, okay, so it will be like this. Okay, it will, the system will ask for value name for name. Okay, then you will have to specify value, then again roll number, then again like the city. Okay, so it will create one row. Just to summarize, if you want to take input from the user, in that case you can use ampersand. Okay, so this basically works with SQL plus. Okay, so in order to test the same, you will have to execute this query in SQL plus. Okay, then we have select statement. Okay, so basically the syntax of select statement is like this. You will have keyword select. Okay, then you can either specify asterisk or you can specify the column names. Okay, asterisk means it will display all the column from that particular table. Okay, then you will have keyword from. Okay, then you will have to specify your table name, then where clause, then expression, whatever condition you want to impose on that particular query. Okay, then order by. If you want to sort your data on the basis of one particular column, then you can use order by. So you can either sort it ascending or descending orders. Okay, so there is another flavor of it. If you want to display column from 1 to n, okay, then you can simply write like this: select column 1 to column n from table name. Okay, now let's talk about some example. Okay, so here we are simply querying on student. Okay, using asterisk, it means it will display all the column from student table. Okay, so in this particular table, as we have defined 3 columns, so we are able to see all the 3 columns with its values. Okay, let's look into some more examples. So select roll number percentage from student. So this will show only roll number and percentage column from student table. It will not show all the column because we are not using asterisk over here. We are specifying column name which we want to pull. Okay. Then another example is select star from student where percentage greater than or equal to 60. So this will show all the columns, rows of student table where percentage greater than or equal to 60. Okay, so here we are putting one condition. We are saying that we need only those data where percentage greater than or equal to 60. Okay, then another example is select student name from student where student name is equal to Goldie. So here we are just displaying information pertaining to one specific student. Okay, then next one is we are displaying information we have percentage greater than or equal to 60 and percentage less than or equal to 80. If you want to know the names of student, those are having, like percentage greater than 60 and less than 80. Okay. So this is the basically query. Then we have distinct clause. So this is basically used to eliminate duplicate rows from the select statement. Okay. So, I mean, the syntax is pretty simple. I mean, it's quite similar to select statement. The only thing is that you will have to include distinct keyword in your select statement. Okay. Let's look at some examples. So select distinct student name from student. So it will display only distinct student names. Okay. If two students are having same name, then it will display only at once. Okay. Then select distinct asterisk from student. Okay. So this will not show duplicate rows. Okay. If two rows are having almost the same data, okay, in that case it will display only at one time. Okay. So that's about select and distinct clause. Then we have order by clause. Okay. So this is basically used to sort data. Using this particular clause, we can either sort data in ascending order or descending order. Okay. By default, Oracle engine sorts data in ascending order. If we are not specifying anything, it will sort data as per ascending format. Okay. Now let's look at some example. Okay. So select star from student, order by student name. Okay. So it will sort data in ascending order of name. Okay. Now another one is select star from student, order by student name, and then we are specifying here the order DSC. Okay. It means it will sort data in descending order of name. Okay. Now let's see how we can create table from another table and how we can insert record from different table. Okay. So this is the syntax: create table, table name, then you will have to specify column names, then as select, and then you will have to specify your select query. Okay. So let's look at the example. Okay. So here we are basically creating table temp tab. It's having two columns, name and roll number. Okay. And this is our select queries. Okay. So here we'll have to keep one thing in mind. Okay. The number of column, whatever we are selecting, that should exactly match with the columns, whatever we are defining. Okay. And their data type should also match. If there is any mismatch, then system will throw an error. Also, if you want to copy the same structure, whatever is there in the source table, then in that case, you can skip this column names. Okay. You can simply call create table, table name and as select. So it will copy the exact table structure, whatever is there in the source table. Okay. So in that case, we need not to define the column. So this is how we can create table from another table. Okay. Now let's see how we can insert record in a table from different table. Okay. So for that one, this is the syntax. This is also very straightforward. Insert into table name. Okay. The target table name, then your select statement. Okay. So here also your table schema should match whatever, like columns you are selecting in your select queries. Okay. Let's look at the example. Okay. So this is the example. We are inserting record in a temp table and we are selecting columns from student. So it will pull all the rows, whatever is there in student table, and it will insert into temp table. Okay. Now let's talk about delete and truncate statement. Okay. So delete, using this particular thing, like we can basically delete rows from table. Okay. It's basically a DML statement. Okay. The syntax is delete from, then we'll have to specify table name, then where, and then condition. Okay. Or other way around is that you can simply call delete table name. Okay. So this will simply remove all the rows from the table. Okay. So in this particular thing, we are not specifying any where condition. Let's look at some examples. So first we have delete from student. So this will delete all the rows from the table. Okay. Next we have delete from student where percentage greater than or equal to 60. So this will delete all the rows from the student table where percentage is greater than or equal to 60. Now let's talk about truncate. So truncate will also remove all the rows from the table, but it also release the storage space occupied by table. Okay, because it's a DDL statement. Okay, now the syntax is truncate table name. Okay, so when we use truncate, we need not to specify any sort of where condition. We cannot use where condition with truncate clause. Okay, now that's a very frequently asked question at the time of interview. What's the difference between delete and truncate? Okay, so basically, like majorly three differences are there. Okay, first one is, as I said, truncate is a DDL command, whereas delete is a DML command. Okay, delete operation can be rollback. Okay, because it's a DML. Okay, but truncate operation cannot be rollback because it's a DDL. Okay, so we cannot roll back any sort of DDL transaction. Okay, if you're not clear about what is DDL and DML, okay, so I have created altogether separate video. Okay, that's basically a SQL introduction. You can refer that particular video. Okay, so DDL basically stands for data definition language, and DML basically stands for data manipulation language. Okay, then third one is where clause can be used with delete, but we cannot use it with truncate statement. Okay, and because of this, truncate is like faster compared to delete. So this is about delete and truncate statement and some major differences among these two. Okay, let's talk about update statement. Okay, so using this particular thing, we can update the value of any column. Okay, so the syntax is update, then table name, then set, then column name, and then expression, basically the value. You can specify multiple column values, okay, using comma. Okay, and at last you can specify your where condition. Okay, now let's talk about some example. Okay, so update student, set city New Delhi. Okay, so here what we are doing, we are basically updating city of all students to New Delhi. Since we are not defining any where condition, okay, so it will update city column with value New Delhi for all the rows. Okay, then we have update student set city Mumbai where city is equal to New Delhi. Okay, so it will update records where city is actually New Delhi, it will be updated with Mumbai. Okay, then we have update student set percentage plus 2 where percentage greater than or equal to 60. Okay, so this particular query basically increasing percentage by 2 where percentage greater than or equal to 60. Now let's do some practical exercise so you will have clear understanding about all these statements. Okay, for that one I'll have to connect to SQL Star Plus or SQL Developer. Okay, so let me connect it. So I am connected to SQL Star Plus. Okay, so in last session we have created one table. Student will try to insert record in that particular table first. Okay, so I'll write my insert statement over here. Insert into student. Okay, then values. So if you are able to recall, the first column will have is that is student name. So I'm going to give some name over here. Okay, so let's say Mohan. Then in next column we have roll number, that is numeric. So I'm going to say, let's say 20. Okay, then we'll have city. Okay, so I'm going to put, let's say Noida. Okay, and then okay, so one row is created. Okay, now we'll put some more record in this particular table. Okay, this time we'll use ampersand. Okay, so user will provide the entry of these columns. Okay, so we'll write insert into student values. Okay, then we'll use like this. Okay, we can give any variable name over here. Whatever name we are going to provide here, system will ask the value for that particular variable. Okay, then we'll have roll number. Okay, then next is city. Okay, so we'll give city. Okay, now let's see. First is asking for value for name field. Okay, so I'm going to supply, let's say this time Ram. okay, and roll number is 21. Then the city is basically, like let's say Agra, okay. So it has created one more row in that particular table. Then there is one feature of SQL Star Plus, okay. If you execute this, like forward slash, okay. So whatever last command is executed, it will re-execute the same command again, okay. So I need not to write the same statement again, okay. That's the reason I am just putting forward slash over there. So whatever last command is executed, it will ask me again to enter those values, okay. So let's see, I am just putting here forward slash, okay. So it's asking for one more value for name, okay. I am going to give this time, let's say Imran, okay. Roll number, let's say 22, okay. City, I'm going to give Bhopal, okay. Okay, so it has created one more row. So altogether 3 rows are there, okay. Now you can see the benefit of forward slash, okay. We need not to write the same command again and again. If we have such kind of requirement, we can simply put forward slash and we can keep adding rows, okay. I can do it one more time. I can just put forward slash over there. It's asking again for me to enter name. So this time again I am going to give some name, okay. So let's see, John, okay. Roll number this time 23, okay. Let's say city New York, okay. So it has created altogether 4 rows, okay. Let's create one more entry using the same, okay. So this time I am going to give the same name, okay. Let's say Ram, okay. The roll number is, let's say 24. City this time I am going to change. I am going to give, let's say Gwalior, okay. So it has created one more row, okay. Now in all together we have 5 rows in the system, okay. We'll fire our select query now, okay. Select star from student, okay. So this will give me all the records, okay. Since we are executing in SQL Star Plus, the formatting is not that much good. That's the reason for such purpose we'll have to use SQL Developer. Now let's move to SQL Developer. We'll see how we can execute the same in SQL Developer, okay. So now I am connected to SQL Developer, okay. We'll write our query over here. Select star from student, okay. Now we'll execute it. See, so we are able to see all the 5 rows over here. It's showing us in a more user-friendly way. The format is pretty good. We are able to see each and every column. Okay. That's the reason for writing such queries. We'll have to use SQL Developer. Okay. Now, so if we need to use any specific column, so in place of asterisk, we can specify the column names. Okay. So now I am going to select here 2 columns, student name, okay, and then roll number, okay. So I'll just mention column names over here and execute it, okay. So this is listing me student names along with their roll number, okay. Now if you're able to see, we have 2 names Ram, those are same basically, okay. We want to see distinct names, okay. So in that case our distinct clause will come into picture, okay. So we just, I mean, see, let's say we do have requirement where we want to see only distinct name, okay. So in that case we'll use distinct clause over here, okay. We'll simply put like this, okay. So it's showing me all the distinct names, okay. If I put roll number, okay, in that case, like system will try to find, like unique number considering this combination. So now let's see the outcome. So again, it's showing me 5 rows because, like this RAM 21, RAM 24, these two are 2 different rows, okay, because whole number is different. So it's forming different rows, okay. But when we talk about student names, so student name is, like RAM is having duplicacy, okay. So it's showing me only 4 rows, okay. So this is how we can use distinct clause, okay. So now we'll see the uses of order by clause. Okay, so we'll put simply order by. We'll try to sort this data on the basis of student name. So I'll put student name over here. Okay, now let's try to execute it. Okay, so see, first Imran is coming up. It's basically sorted in ascending order because we haven't specified anything over here. So by default, Oracle engine sorts the data in ascending order. Okay, so Imran is coming first and Ram is coming last. Okay, now if you want to sort it on descending order, then we'll simply specify DESC. Okay, so it will sort data in descending order. So now Ram is coming up and Imran is showing at the bottom of the table. Okay, so this is about order by clause. Okay, now let's see the uses of where clause. Okay, so we'll put where clause in order to restrict this data. We'll apply filter. Let's say city is equal to Agra. Okay, it will show me only record which are having city Agra. Okay, so it's showing me this particular name. Okay, so along with this, we can put another condition using AND clause and roll underscore number, okay, greater than or equal to 20. Okay, let's see. Okay, so it's showing me the same row again. If I put greater than 22, then it will not display me any row because we don't have any column where city is Agra and roll number is greater than or equal to 22. Okay, so in this way we can use where clause. Okay, now let's see the uses of delete statement. Okay, so we can simply put delete, okay, from student where, okay, where let's say city is equal to Agra. Okay, so what it will do, it will simply delete record from the table where city is equal to Agra. Okay, now now let's execute it. It has deleted one row. Okay, now fire select statement again to see, select star from student. Okay, let's see whether that row is deleted or not, just to verify. Okay, see, we are not able to see any row which is having city Agra. It means this particular record is deleted. Okay, so this is fine. In the similar way, we can use truncate also. So the syntax will be like this: truncate table and then table name student. Okay, so if we execute it, it will delete all the records from the table. Now I am not going to delete it because we are going to use this particular data for demonstration of some other statements. Okay, now let's see how we can create another table using this particular table. Okay, so we'll create like this: create table. Okay, let's say temp stud, okay, as select star from student. Okay, so when we run this particular statement, it will create another table temp stud, okay, which is having the same table structure as well as data. Okay, so let's try to execute it. Okay, so it has created temp table. Okay, now let's see whether it has created successfully along with entire data whatever is there in student table. Okay, temp stud. So this one is created successfully. Okay, then another thing, okay, we can insert data from another table to one particular table. Okay, so let's say we'll have to insert same record again. As of now, it will allow us to enter it because we don't have any sort of constant. Okay, okay, so we can write like this: insert into, okay, let's say again temp stud, okay, as select star from student. Okay, so before executing these kind of statements, we'll have to make sure that both the tables are having same sort of data structure. Okay, otherwise you will face an error. Okay, so here, since we have created this temp stud from student only, so we'll not have any sort of, like data mismatch or any sort of data type issues. Okay, so we'll execute this one. So here it's showing some error. Okay, so we'll have to actually remove this as, because it's not part of the syntax. It's being used when we create table from another table. but in case of insertion, this is not required. Okay, now let's re-execute it again. See, 4 rows are inserted. Okay, now let's execute it. Okay, so in total I think there will be 8 rows. See, all 8 rows are there. Okay, now we can fire truncate statement. Okay, or we can fire delete statement, delete from temp stat. Okay, so this is not recommendable approach to fire delete statement without where clause. Okay, always put where clause. Okay, before executing any sort of delete statement, the best practices is that first you should run a select. Okay, first you should run a select in order to see what records you are going to delete. Okay, then you can fire delete statement. Okay, let's take an example. Okay, let's take an example. Let's see, in this particular table we'll have to delete record. Okay, we'll have to delete record where, you know, like where roll number is greater than 22, where roll underscore number is equal to greater or equal to 22. So these records will have to delete. Okay, so before deleting records, we should always fire select statement in order to see what exactly records, you know, like those are going to be deleted, just to make sure that, I mean, these are the real records which we want to delete. Okay, so first we select it. Once we are sure that these are the records which we need to delete, then we can fire delete statement. Okay, so we can fire delete statement. Okay, so see, 6 rows deleted. Okay, so 6 records were there which are having roll number greater than or equal to 22. Okay, so just keep in mind, never use delete statement without where clause. Okay, now we'll see how we can execute update statement. Okay, so let's see, let's select the data set again, select star from student. Okay, just erasing this one just to avoid any confusion. Okay, I'm just erasing these things. Select star from student. Okay, so total 4 records are there at this point of time. Let's say we'll have to update the city is equal to actually Indore, where city is Noida. Okay, so how we can do it? We'll fire update statement, update. Okay, update student, basically the table name, then set city is equal to Indore, which should be the target one. Okay, and where city is equal to Noida. Okay. So what it will do, it will simply update the city from Noida to Indore. Okay, so in case of update also, always fire select statement first, then execute the update. Okay, so in this case, ideally what we should do, first we should select the row which we are going to update. So in this case, we are going to update this row. So I'll put something like this. Okay, and make sure that this where clause is only retrieving that row which I am planning to update. Okay, so it's showing me one row. Okay, now once I am satisfied, I can execute this one. So it has updated one row. Okay, we can verify it. Okay, now Noida will not be there. Okay, we will have to use Indore, or we can simply select this one as well. Okay, so in place of Noida, now you are able to see Indore. Okay, so in SQL developer, you can highlight one particular section and you can execute it. Okay, so it will execute only that particular part like this. Okay, so I think most of the things we have covered, whatever we have planned for today. Okay, just do some hands-on exercise at your end. If you face any sort of difficulty, any challenge, just provide your comment in the comment box. I'll try to revert it back to you. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Thank you. Keep watching. And importantly, if you like this particular video, please like and share the same. Okay.